Hi, good morning. Thank you for clicking on my video. Today I'm going to show...
I'm sorry. Sorry for that. I hope I didn't scare you. You clicked on this video. I don't know what you were expecting to click on this video, but I'm glad you did. For these videos, I usually dress like this, but believe it or not, in public, I don't usually look like this. But recently was Halloween, and I took the opportunity to dress up as a femboy for Halloween. Yeah, I know. But femboy culture is rising, and it isn't stopping. It got me, and it'll get you too. So what better way than just to embrace it? Because there's no straighter activity than dressing like a femme version of yourself. I know. So come along with me as I tell you my experience on becoming a femboy. Ugh. So now's the part you've probably been waiting for. Makeup. Surprisingly, a lot of people were interested in how I did my makeup. It's probably what I got the most compliments on, but I secretly wished it was my midriff that got all the compliments. I guess I gotta do more 3-minute planks. Anyways, onto the makeup. I'll put the makeup I use in the description, and if you have any questions about how I do my makeup further, you could leave them in the comments. I wasn't planning a face reveal this early, but here it is, I guess. Enjoy my hair while you can. Also, ignore all my acne. I know, I'm working on it. So before I start my makeup, I have to put colored contacts on or else makeup will get in my eye. So you could see me as a professional putting contacts on. You could talk to your doctor on how to get eye contacts and whatnot. It's pretty easy to do, kind of. So next I'm putting on primer, and this smooths out the pores. And then next, you put on foundation, and put on a sponge, and you dab it around, and yada yada yada, and this should conceal like all the yucky stuff. And the main important part is getting the right shade, because if it's wrong shade, everyone will look at you funny. So it should be the right shade when it melts into your skin, all nice and smooth. Next would be concealer, but I don't have concealer because I'm stupid, so instead I'm using this contouring sticks. And what I'm doing is just going under the eye and getting all the dark spots like around my mustache and whatnot. And usually you'd use dark contour sticks for your cheeks and under your chin, but I don't have that, so I'm using this. Next would be your setting powder, so you don't look all sweaty and whatnot. And I guess this is why they call it a powder room. I guess they powder all the time. Powder's really nice. And next would be blush, and I like to put it a little on my blush brush, and then knock off excess. So yeah, put on a little blush. Sometimes you could overdo it, sometimes you underdo it. It's all like a thing. And then what you saw me put on was some spray, like a setting spray. And next I'm doing my eyeliner. And I should have done this to begin with because I'm shit at it. And I skipped the main eyeliner part. I just cheat and go to the end. And at first I thought I did really well, and you'll see later on, I'll mess it up over and over again. And I hate this part. I practice for hours, and I mess up my eye because I wipe away with it. Get proper makeup removers because you don't want to wash it away with water because it fucking sucks. Next is a torture device, and you make your eyelashes pretty. Mascara was the first thing I learned how to do, but here I messed up because I'm really bad at makeup. But I'm trying. That's the important part. So yeah, mascara, and you could scrape away excess on the tube, and then go into a sideways motion to make sure it's all nice and neat. But I didn't do it properly, and mascara got all over my eye because I blinked too hard, and fuck yeah. Makeup remover towel here. It's super nice, and I accidentally wipe away my eyeliner, and I have to redo it. And yeah, makeup is such a mess. So yeah, if you have any comments on how I can improve my makeup, that'd be really appreciated. But also I can answer your questions you have about makeup, because I'm doing this real fast because you don't want to hear me ramble about how the different types of whatnot and yada yada. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Let me know. But yeah, I just redid my my concealer one. I'm super happy. And now I'm putting on my wig, and it really does make a difference when you put on that wig and you're like, wow, I look a little prettier, or maybe I look ugly as shit still. I don't. That's the fun part of dressing up, I guess. You never know what you're gonna look like, and it's always a shock when you look in that mirror. And there is my crown, because I like flower crowns. Yeah, and usually this takes like an hour or 30 minutes. You could get real fast or real slow depending on what happens and whatnot. There I am, trying to get that nice bed hair looking look, I guess. Yeah, that's makeup. And you could go like more simple or more extreme. I went pretty simple because I'm stupid. Or maybe you should too. I don't know, I'm rambling. Let's move on to another part because makeup's done. Bye now, bye. And ta-da! After you put on your makeup, it's time to dress up. You know, got the wig, got the jacket, got the crop top, got my loss of dignity. You know how it goes. But, you know, I want to go over like how it all came to be, I guess, like the cost breakdown and adjustments I made. So, this skirt was way too long when it started. Took it to a seamstress who's really nice and she shortened it like right here. And what I'm also holding up is a stocking, not stocking, thigh high, because the stockings they gave were way too thin for my big old legs, if you will. If I had to review the upkeep of this, it would be alright. The wig has gotten pretty out of shape, and the jacket buttons fell, so I had to resew it. And this is all stained now because I'm a dirty little boy. Oh, God. You know, being messy is part of femboy culture, so I guess it is what it is. But I see this, but. I like this. It's nice for the price and whatnot, and it inspired me to like find ways to improve making my own costumes in the future. My wig right here, the one I usually wear, it's like $100, but I like it. It's been upkeeping really well, way better than this one, and I'll put links of of what tutorial I used to make the wig. Yeah, I'll put a bunch of links if you want to know what stuff I used, but let's go to the cost breakdown. Take it away, me. Okay, let's get down to the cost breakdown. Just like women, being a femboy is not cheap, but not too expensive if you play it right. Plus it gets cheaper the longer you become a femboy, so more incentive to keep dressing up cute. The most expensive part is makeup. After buying it once, you can figure out a better idea on the products you want, which products you should splurge on, which ones you shouldn't, and which ones are completely useless. For me, I didn't do eyeshadow because I don't want to do it, and I got a more expensive liquid eyeliner than the cheap pencil one because it wasn't looking right for me. All of their products are pretty much budget friendly. I got at Target. I really like the foundation, blush, powder, spray, and mascara. They all work pretty great. I would like a better concealer as the cheap one rubs off and doesn't match well, but in total it cost me around $80 for makeup, which was a big shock to me at first, but then when I found out how much makeup other people spend on, it was a lot. Starter kit's around $50, but researching and picking each product in my opinion is more worthwhile. You really get to know what each product does and what works and what doesn't. Okay, let's move on to the other stuff. It's time to steal their look. Wig, $26. Expect the hair to be super long. You will need to trim it to fit your head, like bangs and whatnot. Clothing, $56. I ordered a size large because I'm a big boy standing at 5'8". I do have some quirks about my body though. I have large broad shoulders and small hips. I have tiny wrists and skinny forearms, so it was kind of like a mismatch, but it fit. And plus my booty and thighs are well blessed, so I had to make some adjustments in the skirt and thigh highs previously mentioned. Funnily enough, I bought panties for $13, but I didn't wear them for a whole number of reasons. Just wear underwear. No need to waste $13 like I did. $25 for shoes, and in total, the outfit was $120, and some other modifications brought it to around $40. I didn't include tax because this is already way too much math. Because adding the makeup, clothing, and my loss of dignity once again adds up to $220. Definitely a lot of money, but more than half of it was makeup. So I'm sure with more practice, I could probably get an outfit going for around $80, like a regular outfit. So become a femboy. It's worth the investment. Plus you'll get showered in a lot of compliments. So let me go over the first time I went in public like this. So I wanted to go get this lotion right here. And to do that, I had to go to the only place where I thought they would sell lotion like this, which would be Sephora. Went there and I decided, practice in this outfit, practice walking around and whatnot. It was nerve-wracking, really scary. Walked in and I could tell there was like some people staring at me, but in my head, if I didn't act like a weirdo, they wouldn't treat me like a weirdo. Right away, there was a lady who could tell I didn't know what I was doing. She went and like, hey, do you need something? I'm like, yeah, I need some lotion or whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she complimented me on my eyes, all that stuff. She was really nice, really nice. And then she showed me lotions, picked the lotions, yada, yada, yada. Forgot my wallet. So that was not good. My twin had to drive back and grab the wallet while I stood in Sephora looking like this, real awkward. And God, that was not a fun time. 20 minutes of waiting. Because I couldn't go home, otherwise they would close it. I wouldn't get this. So, eventually doing that, it made me warm up a bit. I got to feel more comfortable. I even started like grooving a bit. But grooving to the Sephora music. But yeah, it was not the great time. But it helped me. It helped me be more comfortable, even though I could see some girls giggling at me. It was fine. After that, we went to get boba and took a photo, and I realized I didn't look good in the photo, so I wanted to practice taking photos. So we went to my campus where there was a really nice tree, and I thought that would make a good backdrop, but it was alright. The photos came out not so good, but I learned like how not to look and what to look in photos. I still need practice, so that's what you are for. So yeah, that's that. Also, I got called guy a bunch of times. Like people were like questioning, like, is that a guy or whatnot? Like literally a truck pulled over and it was like they asked for directions and you could hear in the back like a guy shout, hey, is that a guy? But to get off topic, that brings me to a point where people are like a little dubious about what you're doing right now, because it's hard to understand. Like the lady at Sephora, she was like kind of tiptoeing, trying to not offend me or anything. And I found it like a little amusing because I talked to her in my feminine voice at one point, and then I would switch back to this voice. So, but it's all in good fun, I guess. And I just love confusing people. So, but it could be a bit harsh, like when they call you guy. But you have to realize, take it in stride. Yeah, I do look a little silly, and I am a guy, but I want to look like a girl. So it is what it is. So if you have trouble being in public, trust me, it sucks, but you won't die, hopefully. So let's move on to the other stories, which was the main point of why I wore this to go to Six Flags. As a kid, I was scared of amusement parks during Halloween, but I always wanted to go to one as an adult. And now, as a fully strong, capable adult, I get to go to Six Flags. And so I planned a trip with my friends. Oopsies. Sorry, I just tripped over something. So I planned a trip to go to Six Flags with my friends, and they wouldn't know I dressed like this, so I wanted to surprise them. So of the day, me and my twin, we set off going to Six Flags, and then we meet them at the hotel room. We go knock, knock, knock. They open the door, and
ta-da, here I am. Hello, besties. How are you? How are you doing?
And they hated it. There was all different reactions. One was in total shock, like, what the heck? One was like, oh, please no. And the other one was like, but it was fun to see them like that, I've always been kind of like the zesty one, but they're all pretty zesty themselves, so they understood. So my twin also got dressed later, but before that we want to get burgers, and the entire time they like groan like, ugh, I can't believe we have to get burgers with you dressed like this. And there was people staring, and I would like skip along, open the door like,
oh my god, thank you for being a gentleman.
And they were like, oh. It was fun. So yeah, after we got burgers, time to go to Six Flags, because here's the thing, we're staying for 2 nights. The first night would be Fright Fest, and we'd have special haunted attraction passes. Like, it allow us to go to haunted houses they have, and the other one would just be a full day. The next day would be a full day, and we would just go hang out and whatnot. So, first night we go there, and I'm feeling nervous as hell because dressing like this. But then I saw people in costume. I was like, it's fine. They're dressed in costume. I'm dressed in costume. We all good. So go there, whatnot, check in, got my picture taken for my season pass. It was just pretty funny. The next day when we went to the park, they saw my picture and they're like, huh? Like, who is this? It was pretty funny. Even my twin too, he had his picture like that. Anyways, going to the park, first stop was Midnight Mansion. And that one was hard to find. I was designated the map navigator, and all my friends I could feel like their eyes leering at me like, aren't you supposed to know where this haunted attraction is? And like, I don't know, I haven't been here in years. But eventually we found our way, and there's no line, so we just walk in. And then when I first stepped into Haunted Mansion, I was like, I'm scared. I just remembered I'm scared of haunted mansions. So I was like scurrying. They were like, no running. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm jumping around. I couldn't see in this wig and whatnot. But eventually, after a minute, it was fun. A couple of my friends got scared too, which is pretty funny to see. They might even got more scared than me. Person dressed like a femboy. They got scared themselves. But we went on to the next ones. Next one was, let me see. The next one was Club Fear in 3D. And that one had a long line. And yeah, it was all right. It was like a rave theme, which is fun. And then next was probably my favorite, which was, if I could find the name again, Carnival. That's right. Sorry, that was my favorite, but I didn't know the name. Wanted to make sure I get it right. So we were looking for the next one, which was Lost Souls, and we couldn't find it. So we ended up at Carnival. And there was like no line, so we went up, and these two clowns would like go like this and wouldn't let us through. And there was a bouncer, and he's like, sorry guys, you can't go through. And some of the clowns, they recognized us, so they like shouted our names. My twin was dressed up as 2B, by the way, if you couldn't tell. So I'm like, 2B, Astolfo, I love you, but you can't go in. And one of them was like super silent, and he kept like squeaking this horn at me, and I was like super scared. And he would trail me into the thing. Like I couldn't see him, and he was just like, and I was super scared. I don't know why I was so scared of all the haunted mansions, but I had fun being scared, I guess. So went through Carnival, and I had like a fangirl throughout the entire time. One of the scare actors, she kept shouting like, Astolfo, wait, I'm your biggest fan and whatnot. And I was like, please leave me alone. And then eventually she chased me out of the thing, and I ran so far, like people were looking at me weird, like, who is this running out the thing? And I wish I didn't run so far, because it turns out she just wanted a picture. And she got a picture with my twin, and not me, because I was a little scared baby. So yeah. Next one was Lost Souls. We went in. They also gave us a customized greeting, which is fun to see. They recognized their costumes. And then I was again still scared. One of the scare actors was like a little concerned for me, like, why are you so scared? And I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I had a good time, if you couldn't tell. It was a fun time. We went to the next ones, which was, I don't know. I think the last one was Sulphur City, and that one had a line. By the way, most of the haunted mansions didn't have lines at all, which was fun to see, because we could just go in and experience without waiting. But this one had a line, and to be honest, this one was kind of like the worst one. It was like no scare actors. There's like a guy who's like making a corpse into a wallet, and usually that'd be scary, but he was like quirked up to the wazoo, so it wasn't that scary. But the scariest part was the entrance, as you had to like squeeze through like an inflatable tunnel thing, and you couldn't see at all, and you would just feel like super squished and whatnot. That was the scariest part. But it wasn't the scariest thing we did there. So I'll get to that in a minute. I was about to transition really nicely, but I wanted to talk about a little more about the the park itself. So the park itself wasn't that crowded, which was super nice because it actually made things really scary. There would be these long stretches of walk where it would be nothing but scare actors you would see, and you have to walk through them. So you're just like creeping in fear, knowing that they would scare you and whatnot. And walking throughout the park was so scary that there was a group of girls who were park guests, by the way, and one of them saw me and she got scared, like, oh my gosh. And then I didn't see her. So when she got scared, I got scared. I was like, oh my gosh. It was just two people, park guests, just scaring each other for no reason. So that was a pretty funny moment. But yeah, there was a whole lot of other stuff that was really cool at Fright Fest. There was like a dance party where some of the scare actors was dancing and whatnot. And there's like really cool, like different types of scare actors. There'd be like ones dressed like pirates, one dressed as like ghost brides, a lot of clowns, and as the ones where like they would have like knee skates and long poles, and it was all really fun. But let me get back to the scariest part of the night, which was Wonder Woman, the ride. Now, we've ridden one ride that night, and that was like the kid swing thing, which was fun. And I had to hold down the skirt so I wouldn't show my balls to everybody. But if you don't know what the Wonder Woman ride is, I'll play this video just to show you.
Say hi. 2B. 2B. Are you ready?
Yeah, I look good.
You look great. Buddy, you look great. Holy shit. Yes.
So yeah, now you know what we were getting ourselves into. And I was scared as hell. So eventually, after 5-10 minutes, it was our turn to ride the Wonder Woman. And it shut down for maintenance. And my friend who really wanted to ride it was super disappointed. So we all like left, but he stayed because he really wanted to ride it. And he was right for doing that, because eventually 5 minutes, it turned back on. And we were gonna be the last people to ride that ride for the night. So we hopped in the line back as fast as we could and hopped on that ride. And I was nervous as hell, but I couldn't care less because we waited for so long. And oh, what an experience. Scariest ride. It was a pendulum swing 20 times over and over again, blistering speeds at like 100 miles an hour or something. It was crazy, and we were hanging, so it would be like this and you were almost upside down. You could see the park guests and whatnot, and it was like, I recommend it, but I don't think I'm riding it again for a long time. But it was fun. We had a fun night, all of us. Even though I was just like this, eventually they got warmed up to me like this, and it was fun. So yeah, had a fun night. And I can't say the same for the second day, because the second day was exhausting. We woke up late, went to the park late. We went at like mid-afternoon. I didn't dress up, by the way. I dressed up in my normal clothes. Normal clothes. I dressed up in my regular clothes, which, by the way, I wear like the Hawaiian shirt in public, so yeah, that's my regular clothes, if you will. But went to the park, rode some rides, Flash, Superman. Those were fun. Walked around, got to see some of the sights I saw as a kid, because I used to go to the park as a kid. But, as I said before, and it was really nostalgic to see some of those sights. But man, was the park crowded as heck. Hell. It was crowded, and it was long. Rides were shut down for maintenance constantly. We only rode like 5 rides that day. The last ride we went on was Joker, and that shut down for 2 hours. And when we got on, we got stuck at the end. So yeah, it was not a great second day, but I had fun with my friends, and that's all that mattered. So, packed up, went home, and you think that's it, but I still have a couple things left for like this. I went back to my parents' house, not like this though, and I showed them pictures of dressing like this, and they were shocked. Yeah, and they were right to be shocked. Like, person who doesn't do like this stuff, and then all of a sudden like, oh, my just does like this. My brother immediately recognized who I was, and he was like laughing about it, but he was like flattering me about it. Like, oh, how'd you do this? What inspires you? I'm like, oh, like to thank the academy or whatnot for dressing up like this. And then my mom was super shocked. She was like, oh my gosh, why'd you dress up like that? What are you doing? And I'm like, it's fun. And it's like, oh yeah, you look super cute though. I'm like, oh, thank you, whatnot. But she was like, are you gay? Are you gay? Just checking. I'm like, no, Mom, I'm not gay. But even if I was, would it be a problem? But yeah, fun to show my family. Kind of glad I didn't dress up for them though, because that would have been a little awkward. But it's fun to show them pictures. But I still had one more stop, and that was going to class dressed up like this. I already embarrassed my friends, embarrassed my family, so embarrassed my classmates. So went to class like this, woke up at 6 a.m. and my professor immediately recognized me. She was like, oh my gosh, you're you, and you dressed up like this. I'm like, yeah. I was the first one there, so we just had a long talk about me dressing like this and Halloween plans and whatnot, and she was super nice to me about it. And then people walk in, and then my own group mates walk in, but they sit at a different table because they didn't recognize me, and it was kind of funny, but also a little hurt, like, ugh. But eventually they recognized me, and then they came, sat with me, like, oh my gosh, and they're like, oh. But one of my best friends walks in, and she is super shocked to see me like this, but she didn't know it at first. She sat down with the group mates, and she was like, where is he? And then they have to point it out that, I'm me, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're you. And it was like, I didn't know you were cool like this. I didn't know you dressed up like this. I'm like, oh, thank you. You make this all worth it. So yeah. Eventually it became like toned down. I was like, I'm a regular old me. And it was fun. Like, some people who I never talked to walked up, and they're like, I like what you're doing. I'm like, thank you. It's super nice to hear. So yeah, I'm a bit hungry if you couldn't hear. Femboys gotta eat. But it was fun to go through all these experiences, dressing up as a femboy in public, for my friends, not for my family, but now my family knows I do it, for my classmates, and all around. It was nice to have a good time, and it was a risk because people could look at me differently and they'd be like, ugh. But what's life without risks? And I'm glad I took that risk. So yeah, dress up as a femboy. You won't regret it. Plus, wearing a skirt is amazing. But I gotta get out of this outfit. So let me go back to me to talk about closing remarks and all that. So why? Why go through all of this? All the labor and intensity of becoming a femboy? Why do all of it? Well, it got me out of my comfort zone, and it was fun to do so. We live a lot of our lives in fear of truly expressing ourselves or trying new things, and I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So, I wanted some change, and, change as it may be, dressing up like a femboy, it was fun. And it made me realize people are way nicer than they seem. The world's not so evil. I keep saying a lot. Like, like as if you've became a femboy. I hope this video might convince you to look at femboys differently. It might even become one yourself for fun, So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. How do I say this? Okay. I got it.
Well,